Well, welcome everybody. I'm so excited that so many people were interested in this webinar. Gosh, I think this has been one of the most popular so far. So I am very excited for all of you who are here on the live webinar and for those of you who are listening to the recording. So for those of you who are here on the live, please type in the chat and let me know if you're already a Young Living member. All right, well, go ahead and get started. My name is Allie Phillips, and I am with Manifested Harmony. I do a lot of energy work. I'm a Reiki master teacher, an integrated energy therapy master instructor. I'm an advanced crystal master. I'm a Young Living distributor. I'm also an attorney, so I'm kind of a really bizarre blend of a lot of different things. So I welcome you to this webinar on essential oils with Young Living for cats, because I know a lot of people are nervous about using essential oils with cats. So hopefully I can dispel some myths and get you comfortable with using the oils with cats. And if you have a question, please feel free to type it in the chat. So all the information that I am sharing in this webinar is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease that could occur in a cat. And remember, you are responsible for the health and the wellness of your cat. So let me tell you a little bit more about me. Like I mentioned, I have an energy healing business, and I am also a nationally recognized animal protection attorney. In 2015, I was voted and received an award as one of the top animal defenders in the United States. I have been a former prosecutor. I still train prosecutors, law enforcement, and human and animal protection workers on animal abuse. And I created the National Center for Prosecution of Animal Abuse, which is still located in the DC area. And after spending over 11 years in the DC area, I moved back to Michigan, almost a year ago. But how I got involved with the Young Living oils was specific for cats. I had been using oils for years and years and years, lots of different brands, brands that you buy in the store that none of us would buy nowadays. But I was very determined on how to use the oils for cats because my energy healing business is very focused on animals. And so I was really disturbed that I couldn't use the current oils that I had and wanted to learn more about oils that were safe for pets. And I only found one company, this was almost 3 years ago, that was actively advertising that their oils could be used with pets. And that's how I became involved with Young Living, because I very much wanted to use the oils with my cats. I wanted to use them with the shelter animals that I work with. I wanted to use them with the shelter workers that I work with and all the stressed out professionals that I work with, because I work a lot with prosecutors and law enforcement. I spent time lobbying in Washington, D.C., so I work with lobbyists. And so that's how I really got wrapped up into Young Living, because safety was really a top priority for me. And you're going to see that as we go through this webinar, that safety is the key feature. And so now the oils are a daily routine, not only for me, but for my cats. So I want to introduce you to my felines. So I actually have here in my home office, I have Lucy with me, and she is my 17-and-a-half-year-old Bombay, and Bombays are black Siamese. I also have Jacob, who is 10 years old, and I have Rudy, who is 3.5 years old, and he hails from the island of St. Croix, where I have a rescue transport program with the shelter down there to make sure that the pets can come up here to the mainland and find homes. And somehow Rudy didn't leave my home. So, all right, so we have more people that have joined in. And remember, just type me in the chat and let me know if you are a Young Living member. I'm just curious to know if this is all going to be members. All right, now I also want to talk about this big adventure. I mentioned that I had just spent the last 11 and a half years living in Northern Virginia, outside of Washington, D.C., working nationally on animal protection issues. And our big adventure started last year about this time when I made the decision that I was done. I was just done with the DC area. And I really wanted to move back to Michigan, which is home for me, and wanted to be closer to my parents and wanted to focus on my Young Living business. And so I packed up my life, my career, and my cats in March of 2015 and moved back home to Michigan. And the oils not only supported me on taking this huge leap in my career and my living situation, but they were also incredibly supportive to Lucy and Jacob and Rudy. Oils were diffused after all of our furniture and belongings were packed in that huge moving truck. Oils were diffused when we were locked down in one room because my house was completely empty and it was freaking out the cats. So I locked us down in a room. You can see that photo on the right of Jacob hanging out near the diffuser. And I diffused oils in the car. You can see in that bottom photo, I had a lot of Young Living boxes. I was not going to let those be transported by the movers. And, you know, we diffused oils in the car when we were traveling, and our travel started at 2:30 in the morning. So the cats were tired and stressed. I was tired and stressed, but we used the oils on our adventure. So now I just really want to dive into this, and I'm really going to try to keep this webinar to around an hour. So if you have questions, be sure to type them in the chat, but I'm really going to get through everything as fast and as thoroughly as I can. But we really need to think about a pet's environment in our home. You know, and I don't put this out there to make anybody feel bad, but have you looked at the ingredients in your household cleaners, especially your floor cleaners, or what you launder your pet's bedding in? You know, I was using an all-natural cleaner and was shocked to actually find toxins in it. So when you think of what your pets are walking on or sleeping on, and then they lick their paws, they are ingesting whatever you clean your house with or clean their bedding with, what you wash your hands with, and then you pet or you hold your cat can absorb into their fur and their skin. So have you looked at the ingredients on your hand soap, especially those that are very heavily perfumed? And what about moving into a new home like we did last March? You know, most people end up painting and those fumes are breathed in. And when I moved, luckily there was only one room that I needed to paint, but I put Young Living oils in. It was a very low VOC, low fume paint from Sherwin-Williams, but I put oils directly into the paint. And to this day, 10 months later, I walk in that room and I can still smell the oils. And we think about, you know, many pet homes use scented products, air fresheners, plug-ins, scented cleaning products, scented litter, candles, and even essential oils that are synthetic and have chemicals in them. You know, Febreze has over 80 known toxins in it. And so what we and our pets breathe goes right to our brain, and it goes right into our bloodstream. And then we have to think about the food that we're feeding our pets. You know, what kind of food does your cat eat? You know, if given the choice, my cats would eat the really junky hard food, but I have them only on organic, high quality, wet food. You know, but certain food it's like a drug to cats. But too many pet foods are harmful to our cats. You know, in fact, one popular pet food company actually confirmed I think it was last year, that their food contained cancer-causing aflatoxins, which were an unavoidable natural contaminant. So we even need to look at the food that our cats are eating. We also need to keep educating ourselves about cats getting vaccines. A lot of vets are starting to move away from the annual, you know, over-vaccination syndrome. We also have electromagnetic frequencies in our home. And, you know, this is due to Wi-Fi and TVs and smartphones and computers, and our bodies are really struggling with it, and our ultra-sensitive cats are struggling with it. That's Lucy. She's howling to get out of the office. Hang on. All right, Lucy, out you go. Sorry, folks. Lucy didn't want to stay for the webinar. But when we also think about the human stress that we bring into a home, our cats in particular pick up that stress and they take it on. And this is what I teach about in my energy healing classes. And so when we're coming home stressed, they can take that on. And so this is the environment that our cats live in. And, you know, a vast majority of companion cats are indoor cats. And so they are literally prisoners in our home. And so there are things that we can do to help them. Because when we have a happy cat, we have a well cat. And that's the whole goal of why I got involved in working with Young Living oils with cats. So let's just go through a couple of do's and don'ts. Please do not ever Google essential oils in cats, because it will freak you out, because you will see thousands and thousands of web pages that say don't use oils with cats. And you know what? Those web pages are accurate, because those web pages are not talking about Young Living oils. They are talking about other oils that are harmful to cats. Just don't Google essential oils in cats. If you're going to do any sort of search, make sure you are only relying on educational materials specific to Young Living, because don't use any other oils other than Young Living when it comes to working with cats. And I would encourage you to do your own research. After this webinar, go out and do your own research. There are publications out there that you can look at, you know, because you need to be comfortable in this. You know, do be conservative in your approach until you are comfortable with using the oils with cats. And also monitor how your cat responds to different oils and to the different methods that I'm going to talk about. And so Young Living really is the world leader in therapeutic grade oils, not only because they have their own farms and they source their own oils, but because they are leading the field in essential oils for animals. And it's because of the seed to seal process. I mean, for those of you who are members, we know that Young Living has been around for 22 years. And as the world leader in essential oils, we believe that everyone deserves a life full of abundance, purpose, and wellness, and that includes pets. And so the vision of Young Living is to bring the life-changing benefits of oils to every home, every family, every lifestyle, and every pet. And we are the only essential oil company that I know of that has a veterinary advisory council. That is huge. And I'm really expecting some amazing things to be coming out of this council in the coming months as we get ready for the next Animal Essential Oil Conference in Utah. And so what's the big deal about essential oils in cats? Well, the first thing is that cats are deficient in their ability to eliminate essential oils through the liver. They are lacking an enzyme that they can do this, and so it means a slower elimination, and it means that the oils can build up in their system. So this is why Young Living therapeutic grade oils are the oils that can be trusted to be used with cats because of their purity. So that when that slow elimination is happening, you don't have to worry about what's going on internally. But please make sure that your cats get regular vet visits. And if you're nervous in any way about using the oils, just have your cat's liver values tested before you start using the oils, and then again in 3 or 6 months. I've done this with my cats, and even on 17-year-old Lucy, her liver values look really amazing for her age. And frankly, she does not even look 17. She does not look her age. So let's talk about some cautions. Now, I would be cautious with oils that are high in phenols. Okay, so what's a phenol? Phenols are actually responsible for the fragrance of an oil. Phenols contain high levels of oxygenating molecules, and they have antioxidant properties. So phenols are stimulating to the nervous and the immune system. So these are very powerful therapeutic grade oils, but because of the phenols, cats can have a more difficult time in processing them because they're missing this enzyme in their liver. So if you want to use these oils, they should be used in a high rate of dilution. And honestly, I dilute at a 9-to-1 ratio anyway in all oils. And that means 9 drops of a carrier oil to 1 drop of a young living oil. So the oils that are high in phenols are oregano, clove, thyme, cinnamon, mountain savory, tarragon, and tea tree, including pine oils and citrus oils. Now, when I talk about diffusing, I want to say up front, I diffuse citrus oils frequently, and my cats have never had a problem with it. But the thing that you really need to watch out for is any signs that the oils could be too strong. And so you're going to look for a cat that may be squinting her eyes, may start acting confused or extremely sleepy or disoriented, maybe even acting drunk or vomiting or even getting violent. If any of these occur, dilute the area where you put the oils immediately with either a V6 oil or a carrier oil. Do not use water. Use a carrier oil and then take your cat to a veterinarian. The carrier oil, what it does is it slows down the absorption process. Now, I want to make one comment about tea tree oil because overwhelmingly, you're going to see a lot of information online about how tea tree is fatal to cats. And I would agree, but with young living oils, there are some veterinarians who have shared how they have used tea tree and other high phenol oils very aggressively with cats and have only gotten positive responses. I have not used tea tree with my cats, except when I talk about the Animal Sense ointment and Purification, those have tea tree in it, and I have used those with my cats. So again, it's doing what you are comfortable with. Certainly don't do something if you're not comfortable. And then if you have a cat with a known diagnosis from a veterinarian, such as high blood pressure, if the cat's pregnant or has epilepsy, you're going to want to avoid these particular oils. I always follow the philosophy that I would rather be safe than sorry. And even then, I tend to be pretty fairly, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but I do not have a problem using any of the oils around my cats, even though I am cautious in doing so. Now, you never want to use these types of oils with cats. If an oil says never ingest, don't use undiluted on your skin, never ever have that oil around your cat, including diffusing it. So all these cautions about don't apply to your skin, for external use only, and even having an expiration date, it tells you that something else is in that bottle other than the botanical, such as lavender or peppermint. These are actual warning labels that I took off of oils that I used to use. I would use them on myself, but I would never use them on my cats because of these warnings. So if you see warnings, they should never be used with animals. You will not see these warnings with young living oils. You can ingest young living oils. You can put them directly on your skin, and there is no expiration date. So that's why this presentation is solely about young living oils and not any other brand. So when it comes to oil usages, Young Living continues to refine and relabel their oils. So I would encourage you to please check their website for updated information. But oils are now being labeled in 2 ways, and we're seeing more information come out, including today, the Vitality dietary oils came out. But Young Living says that oils can be either dietary or topical, but all can be aromatic and all can be used for cleaning. So when oils are dietary, you can actually work on the body system. and talk about that, about how the oil will support a body system. And so when we talk about body systems, I mean, we know that we have 12 body systems, but cats also have body systems that can be benefited with the oils. You know, they have a musculoskeletal system like we do, a digestive system, a circulatory system, a respiratory system. And so there are oils that can support and help maintain the healthy balance of these systems for cats. Oh, and I had to throw in that cute little picture of Lil Bub, if you all know her, one of the most popular cats on social media. All right, so let's get started and let's talk about the least intrusive method that you can use with cats, and then we're going to work forward. And the whole philosophy behind using oils with cats is that less is more. You really don't need to use a lot. So the least intrusive way that you can offer Young Living essential oils to your cats is by simply letting them enjoy the box that your Young Living Essential Rewards order comes in. I mean, we all know cats love boxes, right? I don't know why we spend money on birthday gifts and holiday, toys when all they really want is a box and tissue paper. So take your Young Living oil order box and put it on the floor and watch what your cat does. I mean, they love these boxes. And, your cat will actually smell the oils from the box, because I know you can smell the oils when you open up the box. And this is a great way to test your cat to see, is my cat going to be open to working with the oils? Put them in the box. The next least intrusive way is to start cleaning your home with essential oils. Now, if you use bleach to clean anything in your house, adding hot water to it is going to create chloramine gas, and that can actually cause severe lung injury and harm to sensitive paws of cats. Now, imagine that you walk on all fours and you lick your hands and feet several times a day. If you're cleaning with bleach or cleaners that have toxins in them, that's not healthy. In fact, bleach in particular is cautioned against in many animal shelter settings because too many shelter pets have suffered chemical burns from cleaning cages and kennels with bleach. So the naturally derived oils and the ingredients that make up the Thieves line of cleaning products are the best thing that we can do to clean our home and keep our cats and all of our pets safe. So, even if you look at some of the healthy cleaners, they have ingredients in them that are kind of uncertain. You actually have to look them up because you don't really know what they are. With Thieves, you can be certain that what you clean your house with is quality and it's natural. So it works on every surface. You can clean your mirrors and your windows, your floors, your countertops, your bathrooms, pet bedding, pet dishes, catteries. If you are volunteering or working at an animal shelter, we need to get this into the shelters. So there's a lot of different ways that we can clean with essential oils, and that benefits our cats. Because when you clean your home, you smell the product, right? You can smell it. Cats have a far more sensitive smelling ability than we do. So imagine what they're smelling. This is the safest way that we can get oils into our pets and make sure that our home is as clean and non-toxic as possible. You can also engage in what I call Cataromatherapy, because when you introduce oils to a cat and you allow the cat to smell the oils in a variety of different ways, it's a great way to get the oils into their system. And it can support all of the body systems that I had in that other slide. It can also support their emotions, their behavior, and this can be very beneficial because cats are notorious for not showing us when something is wrong. Usually when a cat shows us that they're sick, they are really sick, and sometimes it's too late. But by consistently using a variety of oils in a cat aromatherapy manner, you can support your cat in a lot of different ways. I like to use oils to calm down my cat Rudy because he likes to destroy his toys, as you can see in that photo. And when I diffuse calming oils, he's always going to be destructive. He likes to tear them apart like a dog, but he's far less destructive. So there's ways that you can use the aromatherapy of the oils to get those oils into your cats. You can also put oils on yourself, and it's a way of getting the aromatherapy of the oils into your cats. So when you wear oils, your cats will enjoy the benefits. So I work a lot with shelter cats. So if you are working with a scared cat or a timid cat, put your oil on a diffuser necklace. That's a photo of, it's a clay necklace that I have, and I put the oil on the back. I'll wear the diffuser necklace, or I'll put the oil on the back of my neck. Now, why don't I necessarily put the oils on my hands? Unless you specifically want to apply an oil topically to a cat, which we're going to cover shortly, I would avoid putting oils on your hands and petting your cat. Because when you go to pet your cat, they're going to smell your hands, and cats have a very heightened sense of smell. And so they could actually run away, and then that could create a habit of them running away from you when you go to pet them. And we don't want that. So if you want to pet them with oils, I'm going to talk about that momentarily, but I would recommend simply putting the oils on you and put it in a necklace, put it on the back of your neck. Put the oils on the bottom of your feet. Just don't put them on your hands if you are working with animals that are a little jittery. So when animals are jittery, when cats are jittery or may just be outright resistant to oils, the oils I like to use on myself are Peace and Calming, Lavender, Idaho Balsam Fir, and Valor. Sometimes I'll use all of them. Sometimes I'll just use one. And I slowly approach the cat. I'll kneel down, I'll squat and sit beside them, and I'll just sit there because as they breathe, they are breathing in the fragrance of the oil that's on me. And so I let them get used to that for a couple of minutes, and then I find that they're easier to handle and easier to manage. And then if they will let me pet them, I will then put a small amount in my palm and I will pet it down their back, but I don't ever force it. I just let them try to smell it off of me. Now, diffusing oils, this is the next step up of getting the oils in your cats. And so you can diffuse at home. If you have or volunteer or work in a cattery or a cat shelter or a cat orphanage, you can diffuse there. You can diffuse in your car when you're traveling. That's what I did when me and 3 cats were driving 9.5 hours from Virginia to Michigan. And it's a great way to get the oils into your cats. Now, the cold diffusing turns the oil into micro-sized particles. And so the oils enter the air more quickly and can be breathed in more quickly, which can give an immediate therapeutic benefit, which is why the Young Living diffusers are so amazing, because they are cold diffusers. So there's a photo of Jacob and Rudy. They love to sit here in my home office, and I always have a diffuser going, and they will come and they will hang out right by the diffuser. So I'm going to go through some specific oils, but good oils to diffuse are Acceptance, and I'm going to go through why these are good when I actually get to that part of the presentation. But Acceptance, Peace and Calming, Stress Away, Lavender, Frankincense, and Purification are all really great oils to diffuse. But you can also diffuse Trauma Life or Release, which I'm going to talk about later because that's really good for releasing anything emotional that a cat may need to release. Or you can diffuse Thieves, RC, or Eucalyptus Blue if you work in a shelter or a veterinary clinic. Direct inhalation is another way that you can get oils into your cats. So Lucy, I will actually open up a bottle of oil and I start about a foot away from her and I slowly move it towards her and she will come right up to it and smell it. All it takes is one sniff and she's got that in her. Now, if you want to do this, I would start with softer smelling oils like Copaiba. But what you can do is just approach from a distance, move slowly in. You can wave it back and forth very slowly. And all it really takes is a few seconds for the aroma to come out of the bottle, to be smelled by the cat, and to really get into the cat system and start working. So that's another way that you can get oils into cats. Another way is tenting. So not all cats are going to like this, I will be honest with you. But some cats may actually tolerate being tented. And what do I mean by that? If you've ever worked in a shelter or a veterinary clinic, you may have used a nebulizer to support a cat's breathing. And a lot of times they will put the cat in a glass. It almost looks like a fish aquarium. It's like a glass box. And they put steam in to really open up the airwaves. Well, you can also do this in a cage or if you have a crate. But my cat, Rudy, actually goes into the aroma dome with me. I know, he's a weirdo. Everybody on this webinar who has ever met Rudy knows that he is a very, very strange cat. But even Lucy has gone into the aroma dome with me. So you can actually use oils by tenting by, placing a cat in a cage or a carrier. You can put a towel over it, and then you can place a small cold diffuser either in the cage or the carrier or right outside of it. And you only have to do this for a couple of minutes, but it's a great way that they can get the benefits of the oils, especially when you're supporting their breathing. But you always want to stay present. You don't want to walk away, and you really only want to do this for a few minutes at a time. Another way that you can help get oils into our cats is to drop oil directly on a surface. So you can put it on a cage door if you are taking your cats to the vet clinic, or you just have to take them in the car. Put a drop of oil on their carrier door. You can even put it on a blanket, or you can put it on a cloth toy. If they're in a room, you could put it on a cotton ball and put it near an air vent so that the air will hit it and it'll disseminate into the room. So this is very beneficial when you need to get your cat to go to the vet or take a car ride or even take a plane ride. So it's a very beneficial way for them to be able to smell the oils when you don't have a diffuser and you don't want to apply it topically. So speaking of topical, let's talk about that next. For cats, I tend to be conservative, especially when you're starting. But I will admit, I have used some oils straight up from the bottle, but in very small amounts, like not even a drop. Like if you take your finger and put it over the plastic opening of the bottle and just tip the bottle upside down and you have the residue on your finger, that's like the equivalent of a quarter of a drop. So whenever I apply directly, that's the most I am using. But like I said before, I tend to dilute about 8 or 9 drops of a carrier oil to 1 drop of Young Living oil. So those are some bottles, as you see in the photo, that I've created for my cats. I make up bottles. I take the Young Living empty bottles, I clean them out, I sterilize them, and then they're perfect for creating your own dilutions. So until I know how my cats are going to react, I do this 8 or 9 to 1 ratio. And then you can always lessen it. But I would typically dilute no less than 4 or 5 drops of a carrier oil to 1 drop of Young Living oil. Again, it depends on what you're working with. Those high phenol oils, you're going to want to dilute more than Copaiba, which is very gentle, very soft. And if you're nervous about applying topically, have your cat's liver values tested. You can test them beforehand, you can work with the oils, and then you can test them again. And like I said, I've had Lucy's liver values tested, and she's doing really great on the oils. So speaking of diluting, I use the V6 oil, but you can use, you know, other carrier oils. You can use coconut oil, olive oil, you know, almond oil, but I like the V6 oil because it's very light. It's not thick. It really doesn't have a smell. And again, when we're dealing with cats, you need to keep remembering that they have a heightened sense of smell. So this is really worth the investment to get V6 and only use this with your pets because it works synergistically with all of the essential oils. So you don't have to worry about it. It's all natural, it's colorless, it's odorless, it's great for their skin, it's got a long shelf life. It's, you know, it's just so much easier to work with, and you don't have to second guess, oh, did I get the right olive oil? Did I get the right almond oil? Just get the V6 because you're going to pay about the same amount. Now, for topically applying, you can pet the oils directly down their spine. So this is a photo of Rudy, and for those of you who know Rudy, you know that he often doesn't settle down. But I had just applied oils down his back, and I don't know if you can really tell, but he is face down, laying in my lap. He was very relaxed because when you pet the oil down their spine, the hair follicles absorb the oil. You can also apply by putting the oils on the bottom of their paws, but I don't know, maybe it's just my cats. They are not really fond of that. My cats do not like me to touch their paws. Now, you could try it with your cat, and it's a perfectly safe way to do it. The one thing that I would not do is put the oils on the ears or on the face because it's just going to be way too close to their nose, and it could sting their eyes because it's just going to be too close. You know, when I even apply down their back, I go halfway down the back and work towards their tail. I try to stay as far away from their face as possible. Now, speaking of applying topically, I'm going to go through a couple of oils and techniques that you can use topically. Now, the Animal Sense ointment is really good when you want to use an oil and you just kind of want to seal it in, almost like a Band-Aid. So this is an ointment that's very protective. It's very soothing. It contains palmarosa, geranium, patchouli, Idaho balsam fir, tea tree, myrrh, and rosewood. Now, it's interesting that there's tea tree in this. This is specifically created for animals. Although I will admit, I use this on myself. I love to use it on my feet. But this was specifically created for animals. There's no caution of using it with cats, and it has tea tree in it. So does that tell you how Young Living feels about tea tree being used with animals? I think it speaks a lot. So this is a great ointment that is typically used for minor skin irritations. And, you know, it's even good for nursing mothers who are sore or have inflamed teats. Now you can add V6 oil to make it more oily so that it absorbs in a little slower. And you can even add other oils to it. But this is a great ointment filled with oils that you can apply topically to cats. The Animal Sense oil collection, I have used this extensively with my cats. Now I dilute all of these. I know people who don't dilute these because they were created specifically for animals, but I still dilute. I may dilute maybe 4 or 5 drops of a carrier oil to 1 drop of these essential oils. But you can use them in a variety of different ways. You can apply them topically and rub it right down their spine, or you can put it in a spritzer bottle of water and you can spray, the part of the body that you want to get the oils on. Puriclean is really good for cleaning an area, infect away and mend well, give skin support. Paragize is similar to Digize. So it's giving digestive support. Repel aroma is really good when you want to take your cat outdoors and have them enjoy the outdoor time. You can also take a diffuser outdoors and put repel aroma in it and enjoy the outdoor area. And then Tea Away has all the oils of trauma life. And so this is another good one that you can apply or diffuse or spritz on them to support emotional freedom and joyful feelings in our pets. And then the Raindrop Technique. How many of you have had a raindrop? I love the raindrop. If you go to convention, sign up and get a raindrop. It is awesome. You'll smell like minty lasagna, but it's such an amazing technique and you can use it on cats. I have used the raindrop on my cats. I don't do it a lot, but I do it maybe twice, 2-3 times a month. But there are veterinarians who have shared information publicly that sometimes they do a raindrop every day on their cats. And again, it just tells you the safety of the young living oils. Now, what you do with cats is you're not going to take each of the raindrop oils and one at a time drip it down their back, because no cat is going to sit there and tolerate that. What you do is you combine them all in a blender bottle. So they can all go in together. You can decide if you want to take any of the oils out, because some of them are high in phenols. Oregano and thyme are in the Raindrop Technique. But what you do is you combine them all together with V6 oil. I do the 8 to 9, the 8 or 9 drops of V6 to 1 drop of essential oil. And, because there are high phenols in this particular blend. And then it's all in one bottle and you can drip it down the spine of your cat. And it's very supportive to all the body systems. It can promote energy and vitality. But some cats don't like the dripping sensation like we do. So then I'll just put a drop or 2 in my hand and rub it down their spine. So there's really, you really got to just test it out with your cat if you want to give it a try. And you certainly don't have to use all of the oils in the Raindrop kit. Just select the oils that you're comfortable with. All right, let's talk about ingesting essential oils with cats. This really surprises people, but my cats ingest oils. They take Ningxia Red every day. Again, only use Young Living if you want to have your cats ingest oils. And the way that you do it is you take a toothpick and you can dip it in an oil and then mix it in their wet food. Or if it's something like Ningxia Red, I just have a dropper. And that's my shot of Ningxia Red, but I make sure that I put anywhere from 3 to 5 drops in each bowl of cat food. And I mix it in and then I drink the rest of the Ningxia Red. So there's a variety of ways that you can get the oils into the food, but sometimes just even dipping a toothpick in and putting it in the food is plenty. Now, I often get questions about, should I put the oils in water? Again, you're just going to have to test that out. But I can honestly tell you that my cats will not go near water that has an essential oil in it. But they will gobble up their wet food when it has Ningxia Red in it. So, you just need to kind of test that out. So let me talk about 3 products that I have used with my cats. And I'm going to be getting into more products from here through the rest of the presentation. And I have used all of these with my cats. There are probably far more products that you could try. I'm just going to tell you about the ones that I've used. So K&B, this supports kidney and bladder health. It's got juniper berries, which is good for fluid balance. It's got parsley, which helps with kidney and bladder function. But I'm going to tell you, the flavor can be off-putting. I've actually been taking K&B because I always test it on myself before I have my cats take it. And so a good trick can be to mix it in with Ningxia Red. And then you put it in the wet food and you mix it in. So that's how I have found a way to get it into Lucy, because Lucy, gosh, about 6 months ago they tested her kidneys and she was just starting to show some changes. So that's why I'm using this and Ningxia Red to help keep her kidneys balanced. Life 5 Probiotic. I've used this with the cats. So this is a probiotic that can build and restore intestinal health. It can support their immune system, improve their digestion. It's got a lot of good bacteria in it. And so what I do, I have 3 cats, so I have 3 bowls. So I can take one of the capsules and break it open, and I divide it between the 3 bowls. I think it'd be a little too much to put a whole capsule in a bowl for one cat, so you're just going to want to divide it up or only use part of it. But it can go directly in wet food. You could probably even sprinkle it on dry food, and it doesn't have any scent to it, so they're not really going to know that it's there. You just got to mix it in really good. And then Ningxia Red. My cats get Ningxia Red every day. I get Ningxia Red every day. We go through a lot of Ningxia Red. It's kind of ridiculous. But if you haven't tried Ningxia Red, the Ningxia Red Wolfberry Superfruit is unbelievable. And this drink with the plum juice, it's very supportive for energy levels, normal cellular function, and whole body and normal eye health, because it's got very powerful antioxidants in it. So it's head to paws, whole body nutrient infusion, really good for energizing, fortifying, and revitalizing the feline body. Now, I've seen some pets drink Ningxia Red straight. You put a little bit in a teaspoon. Even Rudy a couple of times has licked it off of a teaspoon. But what I typically do, like in that photo a couple of slides ago, is I just take a dropper and I put anywhere from 3 to 5 drops in the wet food, mix it in, and they gobble it up. That's all they need. They don't need an ounce or 2 like we do, just 3 to 5 drops, and they get it once a day. You could even do it more than that and just see how your cat likes it. But it's amazing. We know what it does for us and how we feel, so I just didn't want to deny my cats from having it. All right, now let's go into some specific oils that I have used. And these are really some favorites of my cats. But first of all, so you all heard about the new Vitality oils that came out. So it's kind of causing some confusion. Here's the short story. FDA wants Young Living to either label an oil as dietary or topical. All the oils are aromatic. All the oils can be put in a cleaner, but they either have to be topical or dietary. So this is why Young Living has come out with a special dietary line, but you'll notice these same oils are also going to be available topically. They're just in different bottles, okay? So same oils, different labels, but many of these we can incorporate with our cats. So let me start with the acceptance oil. This is an aromatic and a topical oil, and I like to use this when there is a change in the home. So when we were leaving our home in Virginia, the movers came and packed everything up one day, took it away the next day, and we're sitting in an empty house before we drove to Michigan and then sat in an empty house for 4 days. I used the acceptance oil so that my cats could accept what was going on. So this can be helpful if there's a new pet in the home, a new baby, a new person comes into your home, and you want your pet to accept the situation. It helps pets overcome denial of what's going on. I'll even use it, that's a photo of Jacob and Rudy having one of their daily Greco-Roman wrestling contests. And they never hurt each other, but sometimes Lucy gets upset when they do that. So I'll diffuse the acceptance oil, or I'll put a little bit on her to help calm her down. But it's very energetically supportive for changes that happen in life, because for those of us with cats, we know that they're not good with change. So this is a really great oil that helps with change. Copaiba. This, hands down, is my #1 favorite oil for cats. It's aromatic and it's dietary. And it's one of my favorites because it has the mildest scent of any that I have smelled. So I like to diffuse it. It's, you can put it in food and they're not going to taste it that much. And I will sometimes put this in their food. And I do the toothpick because they don't even need a full drop. I just take a toothpick, I put it in the bottle, and I stir it into the food, and that's sometimes all that they need. But this is such a great oil to really support just overall wellness. Digize. So we have the aromatic version but actually both of these are dietary versions. So I'm actually going to be kind of curious to see what Young Living does to the traditional bottle if they decide to make that topical, which I hope they do. But we now have the new Digize Vitality, which is dietary, and both of them are aromatic. And what they do is they promote healthy digestion. So, think about all the things that can go on with a cat's digestive system. And you'll realize why this is an important, tool to have in your toolbox. So this can be a great dietary supplement for healthy feline digestion, and it can be very supportive, especially during car travel. My poor Jacob, he does not like being in a carrier. He does not like being in the car. And, sometimes it can be upsetting to him. So this can be a very supportive oil to have on hand. Frankincense. So we have the regular frankincense, and now we have Vitality frankincense. How do you guys like the new labels? I like them. I think they're really sharp. So we have the regular Frank is aromatic and topical, and now we have Vitality Frank, which is aromatic and digestive. So we can use Frank however we want. I love Frank. I love frankincense. So energetically, and this goes beyond, this is going out into the energy world, what I'm about to say. But energetically, frankincense is historically and like through ancient scripture known as the life force energy oil, because it's very uplifting. So I like to use frankincense with older cats, with maybe cats who need a little boost. Maybe they don't have as much energy as they should. So I'll diffuse it. I'll take 1 or 2 drops and dilute it with V6 oil, and I'll put it down their spine. I use this with Lucy. When I diffuse this, she runs around like a kitten. She's 17. So it's really a favorite of my cats. So this is really one of my favorite oils to have with cats. Gentle Baby. This is aromatic and topical. It is designed specifically for moms and their babies, and not just human moms, but cat moms. So it can really help a cat during pregnancy, after birth. It can help with quieting the little kittens, and it's very soothing on the skin, especially for tender skin. So this is a great oil that you can put on a blanket, especially if the mom is nursing her babies. You can diffuse it. You can pet it down her spine. And even if it's a cat that is not pregnant or doesn't have babies and just needs some calming, this is a really great oil. Because, I don't know, I find lavender to be very potent. Gentle baby is exactly the name. It's very gentle on our little babies. So I really love this oil. Harmony is another great one. It's aromatic, it's topical. I like to use it during car travel because it just promotes physical and emotional well-being. It just brings harmonic balance to all the energy centers, eases all the tension in the environment, helps pets get along, helps Rudy to not destroy a roll of paper towels like you see there in the photo. I remember when he did that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm laughing. But anyway, harmony is really great. It just harmonizes the environment. Cats love it. Joy is aromatic and topical. And this is really good for emotional support. So when we think of cats who don't like change, so maybe you've moved, or maybe you've gotten a new pet, or a favorite pet of your cat has passed away, or a person has passed away. They need some emotional support. This creates a really comforting environment. And energetically, it works on the lung meridian. And so it can help with grief and it can help with loss. And I mean, it's just got some of those really high vibrational, heart-centered oils like bergamot, ylang-ylang, geranium, jasmine, rose. Oh, I mean, it's got all the good ones in it. So this is a great oil to diffuse and to apply topically. Lavender. So lavender, we have the aromatic and topical in the traditional lavender, and now we have vitality lavender for dietary use. So lavender is really great for skin and fur support. You can diffuse it to really calm down an environment. You can take it outside so that everybody is enjoying their time outside, including your cats. You know, I like to take Jacob and Rudy and Lucy sometimes out in my backyard, let them walk down the stone steps. So it creates a very enjoyable outdoor time. And energetically, it's very calming and cooling because it works on the heart chi. And it can really help to release energetically any pent-up energy there. So I love it that we now have lavender that is approved for use in all possible ways. And we can do that with our cats. Peace and calming, aromatic and topical. It's relaxing. It's really great for cats that are struggling with anything emotional. It is supportive of any new arrival, a new animal, a baby, a person, supportive during travel. You know, I like to diffuse it, but you can put it on a collar, you know, and again, you want to be careful when it's around their face, but you can put it on a collar. You can put it on a blanket. You can put it on a toy. And I'll tell you, when I diffuse it, we have those moments in the Phillips household where Rudy can touch Lucy's tail, because Lucy does not like to be touched by her brothers. And you can see in that photo, he got to touch her tail. And I was diffusing peace and calming at the time. So miracles can happen. Purification is another oil. It's aromatic and topical. It is great for cleaning pet areas, pet laundry, laundry boxes. You can diffuse it to take care of any pet odors in the home. You can apply it topically so that your cat can enjoy if they go outdoors. You know, be sure to dilute it with V6. But this is an oil that if your cat, you know, you want to put some oils around their ear just to make sure that their ears are staying clean. You're going to put it on the outside of the ear, not on the inside. Now this blend contains tea tree. And, you know, when we go back and look at the Animal Sense collection, there were a couple of those blends that contain tea tree. So this one can be safe to use with cats. Just make sure that you dilute it properly. The release oil. In a couple of slides, I'm going to talk about how I use the release oil with Jacob, but this is aromatic and it's topical. And, you know, physically, cats have things that sometimes need to be released. Emotionally, sometimes they have some things that need to be released. This works energetically on both of those issues, and then it can help to balance really their mind and their body. I use this with Jacob. I'm going to tell you his story in just a couple of minutes. Thieves is great with cats. We have, even though the new Thieves Vitality is specific for dietary, even the old Thieves was dietary, because this is your healthy immune function oil. You know, it has eucalyptus radiata in it, which can help with healthy respiratory system. It's great for cleaning kennels and shelter settings, and I mean, everything. Anything for a cat you can clean with thieves. You can even dilute it, and if you can rub it on a cat's gums, you can provide dental support. But again, you want to dilute it properly when you're using it, because it's got some high phenol oils like cinnamon and clove. Trauma Life. I'm going to talk about this again along with the release in just a couple of slides, but this is aromatic and topical, and it is excellent for animals that have been abused and neglected, for cats that have been abused and neglected, for cats who may experience nervousness when they're separated from their person or another pet. It's great for trips to the vet, or if you have to travel by car or by air. But what it does is it releases buried emotional trauma that can come from accidents or neglect, the death of a loved one, abuse, even if they're afraid of storms. This is a great oil to use if your pet needs to go in for surgery. So pre and post surgery, spaying and neutering. I mean, I really think every animal shelter and every rescue group in this country needs a bottle of Trauma Life. We've got to do it. We've got to get it to them. Valor. So Valor is aromatic and topical. Really great for boosting emotions. It's calming, it's strengthening. So it's good to place on a collar or on a leash. Like I'll take Jacob out and walk him on a leash. You can put it on a cotton ball, place it near an animal. You can put it on a drop on their blanket or on a toy. It's really good for behavior or even training. Now, I know we don't necessarily train cats, but if you are working with a cat that is timid, maybe one that's even semi-feral or just really skittish, this is really good to train them to understand that there are good people out there. So this is a great oil to put on you, to diffuse in that room with that cat. And if you can get it on that cat, you're going to see really amazing things happen. So let me tell you about Jacob. So for those of you who know Jacob, you're probably shocked to see that photo, because see what's on his face? This is the photo that I took of Jacob when he first came to me. He came into foster care. I was volunteering for a cat orphanage in Alexandria, Virginia, and Jacob, just the sweetest, gentlest cat ever, had lost at least 3 homes. He had been returned again through really no fault of his own. I mean, people return for a variety of reasons. You know, we have a new baby, we're moving. And so when he came to me in June of 2012, he had already lost at least 3 homes. And he loves people, so he bonds to people and pets very quickly. But he had stopped bonding, and he started getting very sick. And so I took him into foster care, and he immediately bonded with my cat, Oscar, who was sadly dying from a rare disorder called acromegaly. And Oscar passed 4 months later after Jacob arrived. So it was yet another loss for Jacob. And I didn't plan to adopt Jacob, but Oscar wanted me to. So I adopted Jacob so that he could have some stability. And so when he arrived, he had a host of physical issues, including ringworm. He had a staph infection all over his face, and he had such emotional heart trauma. He wouldn't use a litter box. And then I figured out that he would use puppy pads, which he still uses to this day, although he does climb in the litter box more often than he has in the past. But he was scared of noises. He was scared of plastic bags. He was broken. And so the 3 oils that I used to support him emotionally and physically and energetically were Release, Trauma Life, and Valor. And I used them in that order. I used Release on him first, and I did it for like 2 weeks. And then for the next 2 weeks, I used Trauma Life, and the next 2 weeks, I used Valor. So for any cat or any pet who has suffered a loss, I really recommend this combination. You can use them separately, but using them together is incredibly powerful. And now Jacob, I mean, he's unbelievable. He is very courageous. He doesn't seem to be afraid. So they are very powerful oils. And so I wanted to share Jacob's story with you. So if you are not a part of Young Living, and I know that many of you on this webinar are, but for those on the recording who are not, it's really important to have a happy, healthy pet plan. And so when you become a member of Young Living, you get a starter kit. And this is what I love about Young Living, because most membership organizations, you pay a fee just to get in the door. But when you pay your membership once with Young Living, you get a kit. That's awesome. You know, you pay a membership to Costco and Sam's Club and all you do is get in the door. But with us, you get a kit. And then you get 24% discount on all your future purchases. But you can also enroll in Essential Rewards, and this is really critical because when you are offering the oils to your cats, you never want to run out for yourself or for your cats. So enrolling in Essential Rewards, getting the reduced shipping, and earning points back on everything that you purchase, you can then cash it in for free products. And I just added up how many points I earned in 2015, and it was close to 1,000 points that I earned. That's like the equivalent of $1,000 in free products. So it adds up, and you never run out of the products for your cats. And so when you join, and if you're part of my team, as a thank you, I will send you a $25 gift card or a credit to use on your next Young Living purchase. And you're going to be added to my Permastay Oils team Facebook page, which is a private page where we have a lot of great conversations. We educate, we talk about the oils, because the one thing that is amazing about the group, we're all animal people. I mean, we use the oils for ourselves, but we are the animal people. And so, you know, we have veterinarians, we have people that work at vet schools. Everybody is involved in one way or another in helping animals. We have a wealth of knowledge in our particular group, and you become a part of that. Now, I have, if you want to write these down, I have a couple of more webinars coming up. So on February 2nd, I'm giving a webinar on essential oils to support animal shelter and veterinary workers. This would also be important if you do rescue work, okay? On Monday, February 15th, if you're in the Lansing area, I'm going to give this workshop again, and you're going to get to smell the oils. So feel free to come to that. On Tuesday, February 16th, I'm giving a webinar on essential oils to support shelter and rescue animals. Okay, so I hope you sign up for those. And this is what Jacob looks like now. This is what your cat looks like on Young Living oils. So don't be afraid to use the oils with your cats. I hope that you can see that the Young Living oils can be used safely. And I think my cats look pretty great. And Jacob looks really happy there compared to what he looked like in that prior photo. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to help you. So don't hesitate to email me. I'm happy to help you out. And, you know, I look forward to hearing your stories of how you oil up your cats. All right, are there any questions? Oh gosh, I only went like 10, 12 minutes over. Good. I was afraid this was going to go longer. Any questions that you want to type in before I close the webinar? Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I'm glad it was helpful. Gosh, I think this is the first webinar I've done without any questions. You guys really soaked it in. Okay, here, how do we sign up for another webinar? Okay, here, let me put the slide back. You go to yldist.com/manifestedharmony, click on the events page, and you're going to see all the webinars there. That's where I put them all. All right, we have a question. Have you ever encountered a cat who just doesn't like wet food? Yeah. Lucy, when I switched my cats away from, they were getting some dry food, some wet food, and then like 8 years ago, they went completely wet food. She went on a food strike. And I just decided I'm bigger than she is and I am more stubborn. Yeah, cats will eat hard food because it's like us eating potato chips all day. You know, sometimes it's good comfort food. You have to take it away. And you can slowly do it. And after they eat their wet food, maybe give them some hard food, but maybe it's just the type of wet food. So sample some different ones out. Hopefully you can find a wet food that your cat will like. All right, any other questions? All right, question. Did you say that TOA and Trauma Life are similar or equal? Yeah, TOA actually has the Trauma Life oils in it, plus a couple of more oils. So I kind of switch back and forth between them, which I think both of them are out of stock right now, which is scary. But yeah, I go back and forth between the two. All right, other questions? Anything else? All right, well, I don't see any other questions. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was beneficial. And here is my email address if you have any more questions. And, you know, because of my animal protection legal work, I love to teach about helping animals. So be sure to, you know, keep my website handy and check out future events, or you can just sign up and get on my newsletter. You can just go to manifestedharmony.com and get on my newsletter, and you'll get notices of all of my webinars and classes. All right, thanks everybody. I'm so glad you all were here, and for those listening to the recording, thank you for listening. All right, talk to you guys later. Have a good night.